Hello everybody, George Packard with Family Lawn and Landscape. Today, on this topic of deck talk, grill, everything, deck, we're going to talk about if you are thinking about selling your lawn care business. Okay, a couple of things to keep in mind if you are thinking about selling your business. Now, I bought several businesses over the years, so I know what to look for, things to watch out for. One of the things, probably the most important thing I can tell you, if you're serious about selling your business, is to not overprice your business, okay? And by that I mean, don't fall in love with your business. Don't believe that just because you have spent 6 years in this business building it up to whatever it is, that it's worth its weight in gold right now. Because the fact of the matter is that it's not, and you're going to be very disappointed when you try to sell your business and you're not going to get the money that you feel it's worth. Okay? That's what I mean by don't fall in love with it. What I'm trying to tell you about that is this. For those 6 years, it provided an income for you. Okay? And that's fine. And you took the money, you spent that money, whatever. But it is not, just because you put 6 years into it, let's say you have 50 accounts or maybe 100 accounts or something, don't feel that it's worth $10,000 because you have had these customers for 4, 5, 6 years. It's not the case. And the reason I say that is I can turn around and pick up 50 customers or 100 customers, and I can come in and let's say it costs me on the high end, and this would be a very high-end estimate. Let's say it costs me $100 to obtain a customer today, whether it's through pay-per-click, internet, door hangers, door-to-door sales, whatever. Let's just say on average it's $100, okay? That is definitely on the high end. Generally, I can pick up accounts for less than $50 a piece, okay? So for you to come in and want 3 months worth, which is another thing I hear all the time, 6 months worth of what I make, you know, at my business, or 3 months worth, that stuff doesn't calculate out very good. And the reason being, and believe me, I know this, and if you've watched some of my videos, you've heard me talk about it, how, excuse me, you'll come in and you buy, let's say you buy 100 accounts. By the time all is said and done, you might have 50 of those accounts. And it just could be different things that, just things like they don't like the way you do business. You're not doing the extras that the other guy used to do. They don't like sending checks back to Wisconsin. You know, they would rather keep the checks local in the community. Whatever. I mean, there's a million reasons why people will leave you when you transfer. They could leave you because they weren't that happy with that guy that they were with to begin with. But now, because of the sudden change in ownership, now's the perfect time for them to get out. So they'll use that excuse. So there's a million excuses people use. So keep that in mind, okay? Like I said, don't fall in love with your business. Know the value of your customers. And by that I mean, yeah, okay, let's say if your average customer brings you $1,000 a month, or a year rather, if they bring you $1,000 a year, okay, that's your average customer. That's fine and dandy. But if you try to tell me when you're selling those accounts to me that I want 6 months worth of money, I want $6,000 per customer, you're never going to sell your business to me. And you're going to have a hard time selling it to anyone else because those numbers just don't make sense. There's no way you can come in and be profitable. If I were to give you 6 months worth or even 3 months and give you $3,000 per customer, why would I give you $3,000 a customer when I can go out and obtain them for $50 a piece myself? Okay, there's just no real way to calculate that. Makes no sense. Okay, know your equipment value. That's the other thing guys tend to overprice. If you go out and you pay $5,000 for a mower and you use the thing for 3 years and you think it's worth $4,000, well, fact of the matter is it was worth $4,000 the day after you pulled it out of the new mower shop. Okay, it lost $1,000 in value the day you pulled it off the sales floor. Okay, so now it's probably worth $2,000 or $2,500, if that. Okay, so you really need to watch that kind of stuff. People think because they're getting out of the business, God, I stuck all this money into it, it surely should be worth 3/4 of what I stuck into it. Well, no, because your equipment's 3/4 used up, so it's really not. It's worth about 1/4 of what it was when you purchased it. So keep that stuff in mind. don't be greedy. I can tell you a story. I'm going to tell you this story about this one guy that I knew, that he was a deployed military guy. He was getting deployed over to Iran or Iraq, somewhere like that, and he wanted to sell me his business, and he talked to me about it. And here again, he was one of these guys that wanted, I think he wanted 4 months worth of what he was making off his customers, and he had his stuff just overpriced. Everything was priced too high. And I told him, I said, look, I'd be willing to work with you, man, but I can't do it at those numbers. You know, this is realistic. This is what's going to happen to me. I pick up 100% of your customers, I'm going to lose probably 50% of them right off the bat. So now your value is automatically cut in half. And even then, out of those, I got to make sure that they're all profitable. You may be mowing some too cheap, and you know, you're not charging accordingly. I got to go through all of that stuff. So I went through all of that. I evaluated what it's worth. And sure enough, some of them he wasn't charging enough for. Others, you know, he was charging a good amount, which was good. So after I worked that out, got that into the equation, I gave him my number, and he's like, oh no, I could never sell it for that. I'm like, look, if you change your mind, give me a call. Guy calls me up 2 weeks before he's ready to go. And he's like, look, I can't sell it. I've tried to sell it, yada, yada, yada. Can't you just give me I think he wanted $50,000 or something like that. And I told him, absolutely not. I can't do that. I went through the numbers with you. I made you an offer before. My offer still stands. Now you're 2 weeks away from going. What are you going to do? He held on to his business. And you know what happened? He got deployed. Now he lost all his customers. He got nothing. He got zero. He ended up with nothing out of this thing. If he would have just talked, communicated, negotiated, and understood the real true value of the company, he could have sold it and made some money before he got deployed. He didn't do that, so he ended up with nothing. So that's a good example about why I'm saying don't be greedy. Know your numbers. Everybody that's going to buy from you is going to know those numbers. I'm going to know what your customers are worth. I'm going to know what your equipment is worth. And I'm going to offer you something where I can actually make a profit. If I can't make a profit, there's no sense in me buying your business out. I would be better off to go and get the customers myself. Therefore, I can bring them in from day one with our train of thinking, our thoughts. You know, this is how we do business, and if you want to be one of our customers, you have to do business the way we want to do business. Okay? That's the ultimate way to bring customers in. Okay? So I would much rather do that than overprice, pay out, all the mistakes I've made, the lessons I've learned, the thousands I've lost. There's a reason for all of that. So I'm just telling you, when you think about selling your lawn companies, you really need to focus on all the things that I just told you, because it does make a difference, and you're going to end up getting stuck with them if you don't. So have your financials to back yourself up. If you're telling me you make X amount throughout the year, I need to see bank statements. Keep good records of everything you have. I'm just not going to take your word for it. That's going to be a deal breaker. Don't tell me you're making $100,000 a year and you can only prove $50,000 to me. Okay? I need to see what you're making. Okay? So keep those things in mind. Like I said, I'm going to have the Truth Series videos coming out soon, where I'm going to go into a lot of this stuff into detail. But for now, if you have any comments you want to leave me below, please do that. Don't forget to like the video down below if you like it. Leave me comments. I'll comment on anything, any ideas that you want me to talk about. If I haven't covered them already, leave me a comment down below and I'll cover them. And hopefully this helps you out. George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape with Deck Talk. See you.